Take a look at this pole. You've probably driven past one on your way to work, outside your local supermarket, or right at the entrance of your neighborhood. Most people glance at it and assume it's a standard traffic monitor or a city speed trap. But if you look closer, there are no wires running into the ground. It runs entirely on solar power, connects via cellular 5G, and stays awake 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This isn't a city traffic tool. It's part of a private nationwide AI surveillance grid built by an Atlanta startup called Flock Safety. As you read this, over 650,000 of these black boxes are active across more than 6,000 American communities. Every single month, they log over 20 billion vehicle movements into a centralized, searchable database. If you ask law enforcement or the company itself, Flock is the greatest crime-fighting breakthrough of the 21st century. They'll tell you it catches car thieves in minutes, recovers thousands of missing people every year, and deters neighborhood crime before it happens. But if you ask constitutional attorneys, privacy researchers, or civil rights advocates, Flock is something far more dangerous. A warrantless digital dragnet tracking the everyday comings and goings of millions of innocent citizens. How did a private tech company build a nationwide tracking system right in front of our eyes without a single federal law passed to authorize it? What happens when a system designed to catch stolen cars gets used to monitor peaceful protesters, track romantic partners, or log an entire town's daily routines? This is the story of Flock Safety, how it conquered suburban America, the terrifying tech behind its AI, and the massive backlash threatening to tear it down. To understand how Flock spread so fast, you have to go back to 2017. Most surveillance technology enters the market top-down. Federal agencies buy it, state police adopt it, and eventually local departments get grants for it. Flock took a radically different path, the Trojan horse strategy. Instead of starting with high-level government contracts, Flock pitched homeowner associations and local neighborhood groups. The sales pitch was simple. Pay $2,500 to $3,000 per camera per year. Mount it at the entrance of your subdivision and instantly catch porch pirates or vehicle break-ins. It felt affordable, easy to install, and entirely under local control. Traditional license plate readers, the kind used on highway toll booths for decades, were dumb sensors. They looked for a flat metal plate, converted the characters into text, and checked it against a police registry. If a car didn't have a plate, or if the plate was covered in mud, traditional cameras were useless. Flock's breakthrough wasn't just reading plates. It was building an AI engine capable of vehicle fingerprinting. Flock cameras scan every vehicle for over a dozen distinct visual attributes. You don't need a license plate number to search the system. An investigator can type in, "Red Ford F-150 with a roof rack and a dent on the passenger door," and Flock's Vision AI will sift through billions of images across an entire metro area to find every matching vehicle scanned in the last 30 days. Here is where the true power and controversy begins. When an HOA or private business installs a Flock camera, they are given an option to share that camera's live data directly with local law enforcement. And when police departments buy Flock cameras, they use Flock's national sharing portal to link their feeds with neighboring jurisdictions. What started as isolated cameras protecting private cul-de-sacs quickly morphed into an interconnected web. A small-town police department in Indiana can instantly query a camera feed in Georgia or Texas. In less than a decade, a private company achieved what government agencies could never legally build on their own: a nationwide real-time tracking network spanning highway corridors, public downtowns, and private driveways. But as this network expanded, the real-world consequences began to surface. When Flock pitches its technology to city councils, they sell a vision of total accuracy, an impartial digital eyeball that never misses a crime. But when an AI system is wired directly into police dispatchers, even a tiny data error doesn't stay small. It compounds exponentially, often ending with innocent drivers staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Take the high-profile case of automotive journalist Joel Feeder.
Well, the reason you have 4 cops here is because your license plate is registered as stolen license plates in our system.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking about it, yeah.
While test driving a $155,000 Range Rover, he and his wife were suddenly swarmed by 4 police officers in a parking lot, ordered out of the vehicle in a high-risk felony stop. Why? Human error in a police database entered a partial plate into the FBI system. When Feeder's car drove past a Flock camera, the AI saw the matching characters, ignored the extra digits on the actual plate, and fired off an immediate stolen vehicle alert. Officers responded to the automated alert without double-checking the visual feed. In seconds, a routine afternoon drive turned into a terrifying, life-threatening encounter. But wasn't an isolated incident. When you process 20 billion scans every month, Even a 99% accuracy rate leaves millions of daily errors. And because officers are trained to treat a flock hit as a live felony in progress, driver innocence is rarely assumed. It has to be proven at gunpoint. If false positives are the structural failure of the tech, human abuse is its darkest feature. Because Flock requires no search warrant or judicial oversight to run a query, any law enforcement officer with access can type in any license plate, at any time, for any reason. Investigations have uncovered over 50 police officers charged or accused of using license plate readers like Flock for unauthorized personal surveillance, primarily to stalk ex-girlfriends, wives, and romantic partners. In Orange City, Florida, an officer used Flock to run his ex-girlfriend's plate 69 times, her mother's plate 24 times, and her father's plate 15 times over a single summer, effectively tracking their every move across town. In Milwaukee, an officer illegally ran his partner's plate 124 times. When Internal Affairs assigned a detective to investigate the breach, that detective was himself later charged with misusing the system. The company points out that these cases are caught through audit logs, but privacy advocates point out the obvious. Audits only happen after the stalking has already occurred, and abuse isn't limited to rogue individuals. It happens at an institutional level. In Texas, public records revealed police used Flock's nationwide search tool to query over 83,000 cameras across state lines while conducting a criminal investigation into a woman who had taken abortion medication, despite promises that the network wouldn't be used to cross state borders for civil or medical tracking. If central law enforcement access wasn't concerning enough, independent security researchers started taking a hard look at the physical hardware mounted on street poles. What they found shocked the cybersecurity community. Security experts demonstrated that by purchasing a decommissioned Flock camera online, they could access the internal software simply by pressing a physical button on the unit 3 times and using standard diagnostic tools. The root master passwords were hard-coded right into the device firmware. Even worse, investigative outlets like 404 Media exposed that live feeds from Flock's high-definition Condor cameras were streaming unencrypted directly over the open internet. Anyone with a basic web link could watch live, real-time video footage of public intersections and neighborhood streets. A system built to protect communities from crime had inadvertently created a massive, insecure target for bad actors, stalkers, and foreign hackers. The tech was broken, the database was being abused, and the cameras were leaking live video onto the internet, which leads us to Act 3. The resistance. How ordinary citizens, civil rights lawyers, and local mayors finally decided to fight back. While cybersecurity researchers picked apart the hardware, civil liberties lawyers launched a direct assault on Flock's business model in federal court. The central legal argument hinges on a landmark 2018 Supreme Court ruling, Carpenter v. United States, which established that Americans have a reasonable expectation of privacy in their long-term physical movements, even in public spaces. Public interest law firms like the Institute for Justice filed federal lawsuits on behalf of everyday citizens. In Norfolk, Virginia, residents discovered Flock had recorded their personal vehicles hundreds of times over just 4 months without a warrant, creating a permanent, searchable map of where they lived, worked, and worshipped. Flock tried aggressively to step in and defend its municipal clients, but judges began pushing back. Federal courts ruled that tracking every motorist's movements day in and day out without probable cause isn't simple traffic enforcement. It's an unconstitutional dragnet. Once the precedent was set, the floodgates opened. City attorneys across the country realized that keeping Flock cameras installed wasn't just a privacy issue, it was a massive legal liability. While lawyers fought in courtrooms, ordinary citizens took matters into their own hands on the streets. Across North Texas, California, Colorado, and New York, police departments began reporting a wave of physical tampering. In several cities, activists armed with battery-powered angle grinders sliced camera poles down in the dead of night. In Oakland, lenses were blinded with spray paint. In Florida, residents used long extension poles to block lenses with cardboard. Viral posts detailing how to spot and neutralize Flock units gained millions of views across social media. A technology designed to operate quietly in the background had become a lightning rod for public rage. Under pressure from both federal lawsuits and furious constituents, city halls began pulling the plug. Dozens of municipal governments across 23 states voted to cancel, non-renew, or outright reject Flock safety contracts. The biggest blow came when the Los Angeles Police Department allowed its contract to expire following a damning internal audit. That audit revealed Flock's ALPR system yielded a staggering 32.3% false positive rate on stolen vehicle alerts in just 2 months. Shortly after, Denver's City Council unanimously rejected its contract extension. In less than a decade, Flock safety grew from an obscure HOA sales pitch into a multi-billion-dollar surveillance empire. But as the illusion of silent, frictionless security evaporated, cities realized the true cost. A nation where no movement goes unrecorded and no driver is immune to automated error. Backlash wasn't just a minor bump in the road. It was the moment American communities drew the line on private AI surveillance. The story of Flock safety isn't just about one company or even license plate readers. It's a case study in how public privacy slowly erodes, not through a single dystopian decree, but through hundreds of small, seemingly harmless convenience decisions. A neighborhood HOA wanted to stop package theft. A small-town mayor wanted to boost clearance rates. A local police department wanted a tool that didn't require extra staffing. But when you aggregate thousands of these hyper-local safety decisions, you don't get safer neighborhoods. You build a nationwide dragnet tracking where every citizen drives, eats, works, and prays. And Flock is already expanding beyond license plates. They've integrated audio sensors for gunshot detection, live streaming video cameras, and AI software that attempts to predict crime patterns before they happen. When private tech companies control the infrastructure of public oversight, they control the record of our daily lives. And as recent Supreme Court decisions on digital location tracking show, the law is scrambling to catch up with AI systems that remember everything and forget nothing. So what can you actually do about it? First, check your own neighborhood. Platforms like DFlock.me allow everyday citizens to map and locate license plate cameras in their immediate zip code. Second, if you live in an HOA or city with Flock cameras, ask your local leaders for public audit records. Ask who has access to the data. Ask whether it's shared out of state or with federal agencies. And ask what the retention limits are. In city after city, simply asking these questions on the record has been enough to trigger contract reviews and cancellations. Security doesn't have to cost us our constitutional rights. When we trade away private movement in exchange for automated convenience, we rarely get that privacy back unless we demand it. Are there Flock cameras mounted in your neighborhood or city? Have you seen them on your drive? Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the technology reshaping our world, and I'll see you in the next video.